Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today we're going to do another round in testing new and hyped up fragrances. I really enjoy doing these types of videos because it gives me a chance to try new fragrances and to share my opinions with you about these fragrances. Today we have some really interesting ones. There is a good mix of different types of fragrances, and we even have a designer in here as well. I typically talk more about niche fragrances. That's just what I'm interested in more these days, but I do have an interesting new designer release to talk about as well. Okay, let's get started. And let's start with a house that I really love, and that is Atelier de Parfums. Now, at the end of last year, or towards the end, they released two new fragrances in these amazingly beautiful bottles. Their bottles are stunning to begin with, but these two I thought were just especially beautiful. Now, I'm talking about Pink Me Up and Noir by Night. So one in this beautiful pink bottle and the other one in kind of this dark gray black bottle. And of course, their golden sparkles are inside the juice. Anyways, the presentation is absolutely stunning. Of course, I was curious, especially about the Pink Me Up. And originally I was very tempted to blind buy it. Then some reviews started coming out and they were kind of mixed. They were not as positive, I guess, as I was hoping they would be. And so I got scared and thought, no, let's be smart here. Let's not blind buy, let's test these first, which is what I did. I got samples of both of these and let's take a look. So let's start with Pink Me Up. The notes, we have bergamot, orange blossom, blackberry, champagne, rose, musk, iris, and patchouli. So when I spray this, I get this incredibly sweet and juicy blast of berries. Now, they say that it's blackberry. To me, it kind of smells more like raspberry, but regardless, it's some type of really juicy, really sweet berry. It has a lot of this juiciness and sweetness to it. It's very, very sweet, Very sweet. Now, it has some kind of bubbly, sparkly texture to it. I can't say that there is really champagne in here. To me, it doesn't exactly smell like champagne. I have Dome Rosa from Liquids Imaginaires, and that one is a fragrance that has very strong champagne note in it, and I do really get champagne in there. Here, it's not exactly champagne. To me, it's more of some type of sparkly, fruity drink. Yeah, that's what I get in here, because I do get that bubbly, sparkly quality, but it's not champagne to me. Now, that's really what I get. I can't tell you that I really pick up any of the other notes individually. There is a touch of bergamot kind of peeking through in the opening, bringing a little bit of, freshness and brightness to this. Then it, of course, disappears. Rose, I don't really get that much rose. Not really. Reading the notes and knowing that the rose is in here, I can sort of kind of get it. But if I did know that rose wasn't here, I don't think I would guess it. There's a little bit of musk, not really getting patchouli. Iris, I'm not getting iris per se, but there is a little bit of kind of, lipsticky vibe, but it's really light and it's done in a really nice way, because typically when a fragrance smells like lipstick, I don't like it. Here, I get some whiffs of it, just a little bit, but it's very, very subdued. Overall, it's very sweet, very juicy berry. Now, is this groundbreaking? Definitely not. Definitely not. Can we find something similarly smelling in designer fragrances? Yes, for sure. We can find something that smells similar to this for a more affordable price. Now, do I like it? Guys, I'll be honest with you. I love this one. I love this one. I was surprised just how much I liked this one. I mean, it's simple and yet it is so addictive. You know, I've tested it several times and I cannot stop smelling myself. I just love it. It's just so happy. It's so juicy. It is so bright. Love it. Absolutely love it. So yes, I want a bottle of this. I really do. Like I said, it's simple and yet to me, it's absolutely beautiful. So for me, this one gets 2 thumbs up. Okay, let's go to the next one from Atelier de Parfums, and that is Noir by Night. Now, I was definitely less excited about this one, although I was still curious. So this one has some interesting notes. Incense, coriander, caviar, mate, dreamwood, gaiac wood, sandalwood, cashmere wood. Okay, so caviar, of course, very, very interesting. I thought, will it really smell like caviar? Now, to me, it does not smell like caviar. Let's start with that. Now, in the opening, I really do get the notes that are listed here. I get very strong note of coriander. That's probably the most prominent note in the opening. And I do get a bit of incense. It's not very strong. It's not very churchy type of incense, but there is a little bit of incense sort of behind coriander. Coriander is front and center. Then as it starts drying down, I do definitely get a bit of woodiness in here. And at first it feels like, you know, this just has that sea breeze kind of vibe. Like, you know, you're just somewhere close to the water and it's not very hot in the summer. It's probably more like it's some kind of cold weather and you're just getting that kind of cold sea breeze, something like that. However, when it starts settling down and drying down, that sea breeze turns a little bit more towards kind of this fishy smell, you know? It's never really offensive. It never gets to like the stage where, oh, you know, this is really, really unpleasant. I can't smell this. No, but I do feel like, you know, there's like, I don't know, maybe a fish market somewhere close by, something like that. So at first, it's very spicy with coriander and it has a little bit of incense. Those initial notes, they sort of settle down after a little while. And then I get a lot of different woodiness. You know, the scent is, it's not sharp, it's relatively smooth and creamy, but I do end up with that kind of fishy smell. So, you know, it's not, to be honest, I kind of thought this one was going to be a disaster because, I don't know, I thought caviar, I can't imagine how that's going to smell pleasant. You know, I love eating caviar, but, you know, smelling like caviar, I don't know about that. So, in all honesty, it's not as bad as I kind of imagined it, but do I want to smell like this? No. Can I recommend this scent? Not really. So, Noir by Night is a no for me. Next, let's talk about a new release from Dusita. I think this is their latest release. It's La Rhapsody Noir, something like that. So I also got a sample of it. Now, typically, I don't think I would be very curious about this sample. Like when I look at the notes, it's sort of iffy, you know, will I like it, will I not? But I've heard some buzz about this fragrance, you know, some people are saying it's pretty amazing. And so of course, you know, I had to try it. So let's start with the notes. And there are a lot of them here. And like I said, they're a bit all over the place. So we have lavender, sage, broom, mimosa, jasmine at the top. In the middle, we have coffee, rum, and tobacco. And in the base, there's tonka bean, vanilla, oak, patchouli, vetiver, sandalwood, and oak moss. So like I said, you know, there is a little bit of everything. You know, there are some sweet notes, there is coffee, boozy notes, there's some florals, there's lavender. Really hard to tell where this fragrance is going to go. Like for me, when I look at the notes, I'm like, I have no idea what this is gonna smell like. So what does it smell like? Now, this one smells a little bit strange, you know? Despite the fact that there are so many notes, I really don't pick up much from the smell. Like I do get tobacco and I do get like this aromatic quality to this. And aromatic, I don't think it's really coming from lavender. I can't say that I really get lavender in here because I'm pretty sensitive to that note. You know, it's not very often that it actually works for me. And I don't think I'm getting any lavender in here. However, I do get sage. So that kind of, you know, savory herbal nuances here as well, mixed with tobacco and mixed with some florals. Not jasmine, but I would say more like yellow florals, you know, like mimosa and broom. That's more what I'm getting in an opening. In the opening, there's absolutely no sweetness at all. Like it's just tobacco, maybe a little bit of rum, although it's very light. I have that kind of savory, aromatic vibe coming from sage, and I have some yellow florals. Yeah, that's basically it. Now, as it starts drying down, I can't say that on me, it changes a lot. It stays relatively linear, to be honest. Rum starts coming in stronger, for sure. Coffee, now there's supposed to be coffee in here. No, I really don't get coffee. I really don't. Again, knowing that the note is here, you know how we get influenced by notes when we read them. I can sort of somewhere get coffee, but if I didn't know, I don't believe I would pick up that note. And I do get a lot of oak in a dry down. So it's really sort of rum with oak kind of mixing together. Tobacco always stays there. Yellow florals always stay there. Sage mellows down a little bit, but it also stays with me for a long time. And then I do get just a touch of tonka and a little bit of oak moss. So overall, I mean, this is definitely not my cup of tea. And I kind of suspected that sort of going into trying this fragrance, but you know, I'm left a little bit disappointed. I'm left a little bit underwhelmed. Like the scent is just, it's not just that it's not my cup of tea, because I can appreciate beautiful scents, even if these are not the types of scents that I want to wear. But this one just really leaves me underwhelmed. Like it's a little boring. I was expecting more of a development to happen here because it's so rich in different notes, and it just doesn't develop much on me at all. So it's not a bad scent, but it's also not great. Like I said, I'm a little bored and I'm a little underwhelmed, and I feel like more should be happening here than it does. At least that's how it behaves on me. Yeah, so there you go. These are my thoughts on the new Dusita. Okay, next, let's go to a designer fragrance that I tested a few days ago. Now, I was just somewhere in a mall going to like a local department store, and I thought, okay, let me take a look at, you know, what's new in the fragrance world. If they have any new fragrances, let me test them out. Now, I tested a few, and there's one that I wanted to talk to you about, and that is the newest release from Valentino in their Donna Born in Roma range. This is the Intense version. Now, this is like their, I don't know, third or fourth in this range. I don't know. There have been, you know, a few flankers released by now, and I have tested, I think, all of them, including the original. And although all of them are nice, They were nothing to write home about. I didn't want to have full bottles. They're just nice, but I didn't feel like I needed any of them in my collection. And when I went in to try this one, honestly, I didn't expect much. I just thought, okay, let me try it out. Now, I didn't really know anything about the notes or anything. I just knew that it came out and I thought I will try. So let's look at the notes first. On Fragrantica, we'll only have 4 notes. There is vanilla, amber, jasmine, and benzoin. And when I tried it, my first impression was, this really smells like Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrance. It just gave me the vibes of his fragrances that I like. Like, I felt like I was smelling something in between La Belle and one of the Scandal flankers. Like, I really felt like I picked up elements of these 2 fragrances, which I love, by the way. And the funny thing is, when I came home and I looked on Fragrantica, I saw that, some people compare this fragrance to La Belle. And I totally agree, right away, it gave me vibes of this fragrance. So what does it smell like? Well, it is definitely, I think it's intense. To me, it's intense. It's very sweet. It's rich. I definitely get a lot of vanilla. I do get jasmine in it, and I do get some ambery touches. So I can definitely see the notes that are listed here. So, this is how I would compare it. The type of jasmine that I get in here is similar to what I get in Scandal à Paris from Jean-Paul Gaultier. The same type of jasmine I get in here. And then that kind of ambery, deep sweetness reminds me of the sweetness that I get in La Belle Le Parfum. And so when you put it all together, you get that floral, sweet, slightly ambery scent. Now, it completely shocked me that I loved it. I loved it. I know there's, again, I've seen very few reviews so far, but so far they've been mixed. I loved it. I was absolutely shocked. Like, I need and want a bottle of that, And I don't remember the last time I was so impressed by a designer scent, to be honest. And for me, I just loved it. Yeah. It's good. I think it's good. I mean, yes, there is jasmine here. I do pick it up, and usually, you know me, I'm not friends with jasmine at all, but for some reason it works here, just like it works for me in Scandal à Paris, because I do get jasmine in there as well, but somehow it's the type of jasmine that mixed with these sweet notes, it just really works. And it's the same situation here, and I love the depth and sweetness and power of this fragrance. Now, to be completely honest, I have not tested it enough to tell you about the performance or longevity. I don't know, but scent profile, stunning. To me, it's stunning. Again, it's nothing, extraordinary or unique. Like I said, it's definitely similar to other things, but loved it. Yeah, this gets 2 thumbs up from me as well. And to finish this video off, I have 2 fragrances to test from the same house, and that is Milano Fragrancy. Now, if you watched me for a while, you know that I have Panettone from this house, which I've been raving about for a number of months now, and I think these days this fragrance has become quite popular on YouTube. Many people have tested it, have gotten it, and are also loving it. And I've wanted to try a few others from this house for a while, and I finally got a chance to try 2 of the ones that really stood out to me. I think it's 2 of their latest releases that came out like a year or 2 ago, not sure. Anyways, it is Galleria and it is Basilica. So let's start with Galleria. So here we have the notes of red fruits, coffee, violet leaf, davana, citruses, leather, orris root, orange leaf, carrot seed, sandalwood, patchouli, amber. Kind of interesting, again, kind of a little bit of everything, wasn't sure what to think about this one. What does it smell like? So This one actually smells quite green to me in the opening. Like I was hoping to get these red fruits, you know, and I don't get them. I get something, yeah, very green. Violet leaf is probably in here. So violet leaf and Donna, let's say, I think these are the most prominent notes in the opening. Not really citrusy, not really getting coffee. Yeah, that's really what I get. Then very quickly, in addition to violet leaf, I do get, well, it says orris root, so orris root, or I would have said iris, but definitely, you know, something irisy. And leather. Leather comes in as well. I do feel the leather. And then as it dries down further, then I do get this mix of amber and patchouli. So it's green, it's leathery, and it's a little bit earthy, and it's warmed up a little bit by amber, although amber in here is not very sweet at all. Like it's not sharp, but it's not sweet either. Like it's sort of this very neutral type of amber. And yes, like I said, iris or orris root are very prominent as well. So that's what this fragrance smells like. You know, it's all right. It's not repulsive, but again, it's not my cup of tea. I didn't find anything interesting or attractive or anything that pulled me towards this fragrance. Yeah, that's really what it is. Leather, green, orris, a bit of patchouli and amber. That's what it smells like. Nothing to write home about, not interesting, not for me. So yeah, this one is a no. And the last one from the same house is Basilica. And this one I was very, very curious about. Why? Because it has a note of milk. And as I mentioned before, I've been really, really into these milky lactonic scents. But it also has a few other notes that definitely scared me. And so I was not prepared to blind buy it and I wanted to test it first. So what other notes are in here? Well, at the top, we have rosemary and thyme. These two scared me. You know, I thought, well, I don't know what that's going to smell like. Then in the middle, we have milk, incense, and labdanum. And then woody notes, cedar, and cypriol oil. So what does it smell like? Well, in the opening, yes, I do get rosemary and thyme. It's definitely when you spray it, you get this blast of these savory spices, for sure. These spices are also followed by a strong note of incense. This is definitely an incense type of fragrance. I think this is the most prominent note in here is incense. So yes, spices are in here, incense is here. The good thing is that the spices don't stay there for very long. I mean, in a matter of a few minutes, they really disappear, which I was thrilled about. And then once they disappear, I start getting this note of milk. So this becomes this smoky, incensey, lactonic type of fragrance with a bit of woods coming out sort of in a further dry down. Overall, like I said, it's lactonic, smoky incense. That's how I would describe this fragrance. It is beautiful. It is really beautiful. I love this one. Yes, I can live without the first few minutes of savory spices of rosemary and thyme. I think if they eliminated these two notes for me, you know, this fragrance would be an absolute perfection. So I kind of have to ignore the first 2 minutes, but because it's so quick, because they disappear on me so quickly, I can put up with this. And then the incense is out of this world in this fragrance. And this lactonic note is so smooth and milky and just beautiful. And I just love this combination of this, you know, milky, fluffy, lactonic quality combined with smoky, powerful incense. You know, it's sort of when opposites attract, that's what happens in this fragrance, you know. This combination just works. I mean, you gotta like lactonic fragrances and you gotta like incensey fragrances, because both of these qualities are very, very strong in this fragrance. But if you do, I strongly recommend this one. I really want to get a bottle of this one. I've enjoyed this one so much. Again, I've worn it several times already and I think it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This one I love. I love this one and I will get a bottle of this one eventually. So yeah, Basilica I think is pretty amazing. So there you go. These are the fragrances that we've tested today. Definitely let me know if you have tried any of these or if maybe I piqued your interest in trying some of them. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe, and to like this video. And I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.